Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, here to tell you the ups and downs for NXT Stand and Deliver. We've just, as you can see, all left the arena to the rather surprising fact that Dolph Ziggler is still your NXT champion. And so, let us do what we normally do. Let us take the finger of power and ups and downs. NXT Stand and Deliver. I should mention, on the kickoff show, we got a title match in which we saw a tag team title change, the women's tag team titles. There we go. We're getting. Hello, good sir. Up or down for the show overall?
I give it an up.
There we go. Okay. So we saw, Toxic Attraction unfortunately lose the women's tag team titles.
Right here.
Lose the tag team titles to Raquel Gonzalez and Dakota Kai. Gonzalez, a one-arm slam, that infamous bomb of hers, getting the victory for them. But we'll dive onto the main card now. And we started with the North American title ladder match. Now, I know Simon Miller has entrusted me with ups and downs here, but I may get a little bit carried away here because Cameron Grimes, baby, to the moon, is your new North American champion. Really enjoyable match. We know that WWE knows how to do ladder matches. Cameron Grimes with a sort of spaceman entrance already got me very, very excited. Grayson Waller, got to give props to Grayson Waller, not only for that insane bump that he took through the ladder bridge, but also a nice rolling cutter that he hit on Santos Escobar as he was coming off one of the ladders. A sunset flip powerbomb from Escobar onto Solo Sikoa was also another sickening move. And then we had all the people at ringside. You had Sanga, you had Trick Williams, you had Legado del Fantasma. Sanga pulled a ladder apart, and then they all basically got into it. We got a cave-in on Solo Sikoa onto the ladder bridge from Cameron Grimes. And then finally, Cameron Grimes hit a cave-in on the champion, Carmelo Hayes, climbed up top and became North American champion. A truly amazing story that they've been focusing on in recent weeks. And as I said, I was going to get carried away. This, for me, doesn't just get an up. This gets a golden up. A hell of a reaction in the arena, and particularly from myself and Michael Hamflett. We move on next to Tony D'Angelo versus Tommaso Ciampa. That schmuck at his last... No, I shouldn't say that. It was a fantastic farewell for Tommaso Ciampa. It's kind of the way you would expect it to go in terms of Ciampa losing. We assume he's probably going to the main roster. Did not appreciate the "Where's my pizza" chance. Got to be honest there. Very rude, very rude. But of course, Tony D'Angelo tried to use the crowbar, as he so often does, and even hit a low blow whilst the referee was dealing with that. But Ciampa kicked out. We got a kick out from Tony D'Angelo from a fairy tale ending. But in the end, Tony D'Angelo emerged victorious after hitting a DDT on the exposed floor, exposed by Ciampa himself. Tony D'Angelo gets the victory, and Ciampa, with some lovely homages in there as part of his entrance to HBK and Triple H. And as he was heading out, getting a hell of a reception from the fans here, out came Triple H. I think you could probably go either way in terms of ups and downs on the match, but I think for the whole thing, I've got to give it an up, to be perfectly honest. A hell of a send-off for Tommaso Ciampa, and the new Don of NXT has been crowned, apparently, in Tony D'Angelo. Let's move on to the triple threat for the NXT tag team titles. It was Imperium defending against the Creed brothers and MSK, of course. And my notes for this are quite brief, so I'm just going to read them verbatim. It says, Creed brothers ragdolling, kind of doing what they do best. Fabian Eichner is an absolute beast, and MSK are just mint high flyers. Also, shout out to, I never know which one's which if I'm perfectly honest, shout out to one of the Creed brothers for just hitting this mad cannonball. But in the end, MSK have emerged as your new NXT tag champions. They got Imperium setting up for that big Imperium bomb that they usually do. They caught them there, though. They hit their double team, and they got the 1, 2, 3. It's going to be interesting where they go from here as well. There's the speculation, certainly around the WhatCulture offices. Perhaps MSK are behind the attack on, not on Imperium, on the Creed brothers, of course, a while back. So maybe we'll see something in that. And you know what? I'm going to give this one an up as well, just because it'll piss off that weird group of fans who decided to hate MSK. How do you hate MSK? Right, Mandy Rose, Fatal 4-Way. Guys, I'm going to need your help with the up and down on this one, because we had Mandy Rose, Kaylee Ray, Io Shirai, and Cora Jade for the NXT Women's Championship. Unsurprisingly, Io Shirai is just great, one of the real stars of that women's division in NXT. She hit moonsaults. We had Cora Jade hitting a Canadian destroyer on the apron on Kaylee Ray. There was even a Spanish fly off the top with Rose and Shirai. But Mandy Rose is still NXT Women's Champion. After basically stealing it, she hit a knee on Shirai after Shirai had hit a moonsault on Cora Jade for the victory. Guys, fatal four-way for the NXT Women's Championship. How are we feeling about it? Let's get a general consensus, up or down for that?
I give it a thumbs up for sure.
Giving it up.
Giving it up.
Up.
Okay. Ups and downs is nothing if not a democracy. Then, arguably the most important part of the evening, who's the hottest couple in NXT? And it's a resounding index. 89% for those sexy bastards, them. Then we got LA Knight versus... I mean, are we calling him Gunther or are we calling him Walter? It's kind of the story of the match there. It's weird. It's a weird dichotomy we get here because they're presenting him as Gunther. They occasionally show flashes of Walter, as Hamflet can appreciate, as I'm sure. But I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that match in terms of that's not a Walter match. I was here 3 years ago. Not here, but I was at WrestleMania 3 years ago and I watched him Walter his way past Pete Dunne. Not enough chops, not enough big man stuff for me. There was, some nice stuff in there. It's not the guy's fault. Like, they're trying to transition them into making Gunther into not Walter, basically, in NXT. You get flashes of it. You get superplexes from LA Knight in there. You get Gunther eventually getting the victory after he basically caught LA Knight on the turnbuckles, hit that big splash and the powerbomb of his for the win. I've got to say, guys, do we think that's the first down of the night? Down. I know fault the performance, but if the whole match was the last minute, would we have given it an up? Yeah. But just, all right, look, finally, what is his name going forward? Walter! Just call him Walter, guys. It's really simple. Main event time, NXT Championship, Dolph Ziggler versus Bron Breakker. A lot of support for Dolph Ziggler actually here for Ziggler. I thought Bron Breakker, especially with his colourful chainsaw cutting open the NXT logo, might have got the groundswell of support. We got a decent kind of 50-50 split here, but in terms of who was doing what in the match, it was Dolph Ziggler cheating via Robert Roode and Bron Breakker just smashing people, basically. Bron Breakker, though, I just love that guy. Like, he starts off, Ziggler's in control, and then he catches Dolph Ziggler going for that leapfrog of his and just slams him down. He's basically tried to drag Bron Breakker into deep water, Ziggler did. He took him to a longer match, tested his cardio, but Bron Breakker was the Bron Breakker that we know and love, even a top rope Frankenstein. What do you make of the top rope Frankensteiner, guys? Amazing. Love that. And several huge spears from Bron Breakker, and he looked basically to have got the match won at that point, but then Robert Roode, who'd been kicked out very early on in the match, he came back to interfere, and well, he got wrecked for his troubles. We got Bron Breakker diving over the top rope, onto Ziggler and onto Roode, and then chucking him around ringside. We get a Famehesser, we get a zigzag, we get a kick out from Bron Breakker, and it seemed like, even despite the fact that Ziggler had hit an elbow drop and we got a kick out from that, it seemed like it was heading Bron Breakker's way. He recovered. Ziggler couldn't believe what he was looking at after setting up for the super kick. Bron Breakker hits him with a spear, picks him up, and then Dolph Ziggler rakes the eyes, sends him into a turnbuckle that was exposed earlier on. Super kick, 1, 2, 3. Yes, Dolph Ziggler is still your NXT champion. General consensus on that match, guys, up or down?
Ziggler carried the match.
Yeah, Ziggler. It's going to be very interesting. Do we think Bron Breakker maybe goes onto the main roster?
If Bron Breakker goes to the main roster, he'll be all Elite in 1 year.
There we go. Well, we'll have to wait and see what that turns out. But yeah, I think generally I really enjoyed this show. It was surreal. I'm not sure it really fit in the American Airlines arena. It was too big. You saw massive areas topped off, but we all had a great time. We generally think that aside from probably one match, it was a generally positive, all the way across the board, ups show. Final consensus, guys. Up or down for NXT Stand and... Right, well, we better wrap this thing up because you and I and probably the rest of us have got to head over for WrestleMania Night 1 tonight, baby. Let us know your thoughts on NXT Stand and Deliver in the comment section below. Don't forget to like, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. But for now, we are giving generally NXT Stand and Deliver an up. Let us know what your thoughts, as I said. Gentlemen, ladies, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of WrestleMania weekend, and we will see you soon.